A pleasant day to each and everyone. Our research is entitled Assessment on the Level of Research Capability of DepEd Ternate District Personnel, Basis for Research na, Capacity Building and Writeshop Program. These are the proponents, yours truly, Carlene C. Gahoy, Mark Anthony T. Dirain, Bernadeth L. Antazo. For the Rationale. Research capability is an edge to become the so-called catalyst for change in the field of education. The Department of Education, DepEd, has been indefatigable as it is mandated to undertake national educational research and studies from which it can be part of the basis for necessary reforms and policy inputs. Conducting research in schools had been viewed as an extreme challenge to DepEd personnel in Ternate District. On the recently held 4th Cavite Research Conference, DepEd Ternate District is one of the municipalities with only 2 final full manuscripts. Thus, this study will assess teaching and non-teaching school personnel's research writing level or status for the formulation of recommendation for DepEd Ternate District Capacity Building and Writeshop Program that will be entitled Research na, with a potential insight of increasing the research capability for future research conferences. For the key literature, DepEd personnel are the vital parts of the school environment with existing and observable problems, issues, and concerns that can be addressed through research study as regards assessment, development, and improvement of the teaching-learning process and the school operations. Teachers who consistently explore the link between their own classroom activities and specific academic and non-academic outcomes of the learning and teaching process, Manzano et al. 2019. The latest study by Mahobic and Habib 2020 maintains the concept of teachers as researchers emerges from the belief that teachers are a key factor in the development of schoolwork practice, and the teacher professional development should be based on the concept of reflective practice. Moreover, the Department of Education 2015 began institutionalizing research through DO number 13 Series 2015, which constituted a systematic development policy process and promoted an evidence-based policy formulation backed by research. To refute the study by Ula, Barrera, and Acompanado 2017, with the reported challenges such as a lack of research knowledge and skills, heavy teaching loads, and lack of financial support from the school, hindering school personnel to do research. DepEd orders such as DepEd Order number 43, Series 2015, and DepEd Order number 4, Series 2016, financial support to researchers who will have financial difficulties conducting research was stipulated, and the guidelines on the utilization of Basic Education Research Fund were set respectively, DepEd 2015-2016. Ahmed and Mabob 2016 presented on their study that many challenges, including research methodology, formulating research questions and hypotheses, setting the background and introduction section, gathering information, data collection, objectives, and references citation. Gatpandan 2019 revealed that the teachers had an average knowledge on developing topics and finding sources, research methodologies, and writing conclusions and recommendations, but had a little knowledge on analyzing and interpreting data, which made the researcher conclude that there are missing links to be addressed to raise the competency of teachers. Macam and Romanes 2019 noted that the teaching personnel in the division of Cavite would like to be trained in writing an article for publication. They claimed that they had a high level of difficulty in dealing with publication. Thus, Kaingkoy 2020 concluded that research capability can be determined and predicted by how motivated teachers are to write, research, and how productive they are in research. For this, the results and findings of this assessment can be made basis on the development of an intervention program to train and capacitate DepEd Ternate personnel, as well as to provide an avenue to discuss the opportunities and challenges on research writing. For the methodology, respondent subjects of the study, DepEd Ternate personnel from the 5 elementary schools and 3 secondary schools, a total of 213 DepEd Ternate personnel voluntarily answered the online survey. Data collection. The online link with a consent form and validated instrument will both be sent to the personal respondents. The personal respondents will be informed of the objectives of the study, the researchers' basic information, time to be spent in answering possible benefits and risks, data security measures, and the provisions of the Data Privacy Act of 2012. The choice to withdraw anytime from participating in the study will be given as an option to the respondents. For the findings, there are 213 participants in the study. Table 1 shows their socio-demographic profile along with the result presented in frequency and percentage. Most of the participants were female, 89.2%, married, 72.8%, 31 to 35 years of age, 16.9%, more than 5 years of experience, 61.9%. Teacher 1, 40.4%. No research conducted, 40.4%. With no research-related training, 54%. The respondent research skills assessments in terms of developing topics and finding sources with a mean of 1.97 and a standard deviation of 0.55 verbally interpreted as average capability. To sum up the research skill assessment of the respondents in terms of research methodologies with a mean of 1.94 and a standard deviation of 0.57 is verbally interpreted as average capability. To sum up the respondents' research skills in terms of analyzing and interpreting data with a mean of 1.93 and a standard deviation of 0.61, verbally interpreted as average capability. For writing conclusions and recommendations, the respondent research skills assessment in terms of writing conclusions and recommendations with a mean of 1.97 and a standard deviation of 0.63 is verbally interpreted as average capability. For the implications of the study, the participants' answer in the survey questionnaire revealed that DepEd Ternate personnel have average level of research capabilities in terms of developing topics and finding sources, research methodologies, analyzing and interpreting data, writing conclusions, and recommendation. A research capability training program entitled Research na Research na, Capacity Building and Writeshop program is hereby proposed as the output of the study. The results and findings of the study will be the basis for the said capacity building. This capacity building will address the needs of DepEd Ternate personnel in terms of research writing. For the conclusion, this study is intended to determine the demographic profile of the respondents and their research skills assessment in terms of developing topics and finding sources, research methodologies, analyzing and interpreting data, and writing conclusions and recommendations. From the 213 DepEd Ternate personnel participants in the study, the demographic data revealed that the majorities of the respondents were female, 89.2%, married, 72.8%, 31 to 35 years of age, 16.9%, more than 5 years of experience, 61.9%, teacher 1, 40.4%, no research conducted, 40.4%, with no research-related training, 54%. The participants' answer in the survey questionnaire revealed that the DepEd Ternate personnel have average level of research capabilities in terms of developing topics and finding sources, research methodologies, analyzing and interpreting data, writing conclusions, and recommendations. A research capability training program entitled Research na, Capacity Building and Writeshop Program is hereby proposed as the output of the study, and the findings of the study will be the basis for the said capacity building. For the recommendations, considering the findings and conclusions obtained in the study, the following recommendations were made. More research trainings or lectures to cater the teacher-researcher's need in research writing. Full support from the organization should be given to the teacher-researchers. Mentor faculty members and researchers to become competent researchers, research mentors. Enhance teachers' attitude toward research and their motivation to write research. Future researcher needs in-depth identification of DepEd Ternate researchers' problems and issues in research to address the gap in research writing. These are our references. Thank you and mabuhay!